Here are the top 5 things I feel like you should know before traveling to the Dominican Republic. Que lo que mi gente, my name is J-Rod. Welcome to the channel. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and let's get started. All right, so I'm just gonna be covering the top 5 things I feel like you should know. Obviously, there are way more. These are for newcomers coming into the island who don't know anything about traveling to the Dominican Republic. So if you're one of my older subscribers, some of this information you might already know. All right, so we're just gonna get straight into this first one. The first thing you need to know before traveling to the Dominican Republic is the E-Migration Form, okay? So this form is something mandatory that every traveler has to fill out before entering the country of the Dominican Republic. Okay, let me repeat this again. It must be completed before entering the Dominican Republic. So if you do not fill out this form, they're not going to let you into the country, okay? So this form is electronic, it's digital. Back in the day, a long time ago, they actually used to give you these paper forms on the airplane before you landed and you would fill it out. But now everything is digital. And I think they switched over to doing this back in like 2021 during the whole COVID thing. So yes, you have to fill out this form. But essentially what an E-Migration form is just asking questions about your travel, where you're gonna be staying, your flight information, how long you're gonna be staying, your purpose of traveling. So you just go through and answer those questions. But the key thing to take away from the E-Migration form is you need to take a screenshot of your QR code and also the application number. The application number is going to allow you to log back into the system if you need to make any changes. And the QR code is what you will show to the immigration officer upon arrival to the Dominican Republic. You also have to fill out the same form when you're leaving as well, okay? So remember, you have to do the E-Migration form before entering the country, because if you don't do it, they're not going to let you into the country. If you would like the link to the E-Migration form, I'm going to leave it down below in the description box. Okay, the second thing I feel like new travelers should know before traveling to the Dominican Republic is internet and Wi-Fi. Okay, so Dominican Republic is going to be hard to find internet. It's not one of those countries where it's just easily accessible, where you can just go anywhere, such as in America or even Europe. Okay, so you are going to want to have internet connection other than your Airbnb or your hotel. Okay, so the best way to go about doing this, or my personal recommendation, is to get the mobile Wi-Fi. Okay, so I'm going to insert a picture of it right here. But this little box, it costs you about, nowadays, I would say $50 to $60. But it's a really good investment because it will give you unlimited Wi-Fi every time you come to the country. So you can reuse it. So all you have to do is buy this little box. It's called the mobile Wi-Fi. And you can put as much data on it as you want. So the data in the Dominican Republic is fairly inexpensive. Okay, so if you're gonna be staying for like an entire week, you can put just enough for the week. Or if you're gonna be staying for several months, you can put as much data as you need on here. And once again, Wi-Fi is inexpensive in the Dominican Republic. The best place to go buy these are either at the Claro store or Altis. So those are two of the big cell phone service companies. Me personally, I like Claro. I just feel like the service works a little bit better. But pretty much you just go up to the store, just say you need the mobile Wi-Fi, and then they have them there for sale. They also have them there for sale in the airport. If I'm not mistaken, they do have a Claro store in Santo Domingo's airport, so you can also buy it there. The cool thing about this mobile Wi-Fi is not only can you reuse it every time you come to the Dominican Republic, but you can also share multiple devices on it. So if you're traveling with somebody and y'all both want to share the internet, or maybe you have a laptop and you want to watch a movie, okay? You can share it with multiple devices. And some of the mobile Wi-Fi brands, they will actually let you use it in other countries. I know the one personally I bought, like it came with a little pamphlet, and it has other places in Latin America that I can use this mobile Wi-Fi. It doesn't cover every country, so don't think you're gonna be able to go to every single country and use this, but just ask them or look into like the back of the box and see, can you use this in other countries? All right, so that is the mobile Wi-Fi. I think it's probably the best investment you can make if you're looking for internet while you're in the Dominican Republic. All right, the third thing we're gonna talk about is how to exchange your money. All right, this is a common question that I get from a lot of people. How do you go about doing it? So I'm gonna list you a couple of ways, and I'm gonna tell you my personal way and my favorite way of how to exchange money, okay? So the first thing that people assume is going to the airport, which I say is a big no, okay? Do not exchange your money at the airport because it is gonna be a ripoff. They're gonna charge you like crazy. If you just have to exchange money at the airport, I would not do more than $100 just so you have a little bit of pocket money once you get into the country, but nothing more than that, okay? Do not exchange more than $100 at the airport because like I said, they're going to tax you like crazy on that exchange fee. Okay, so the best way for me to do it, or I guess my personal way that I always do it, is I just simply go to an ATM. Now, it works just the same way as an ATM in America, so you put your card in. If you don't speak Spanish, no worries, they do have it in English. I speak both languages, so it doesn't bother me. But when you go to the ATM, you'll just put your card in, and then you'll withdraw the amount of money that you need to take out. Now, here's the key thing about the ATMs, okay? When you are withdrawing the money is gonna be in pesos, okay? So when you see the ATM and it says 200, that's not $200 that you're withdrawing. You're gonna be withdrawing 200 pesos, okay? Which right now with the dollar being, I think the last time I checked, because I was just in the Dominican Republic a couple of weeks ago, so it was like 60 US dollars equals like, no, it was 60 Dominican pesos. I think that equals $1 US, yeah. So 200 pesos, that's like roughly around $3. I don't want you going to the ATM thinking that you're trying to take out $200, but in actuality it's $3. Okay, remember it's going to be in pesos, okay? So if you're struggling with that, they do have apps where they have the currency exchange. It'll tell you how much. Or you can do the easiest trick in my book. If you want to know how much something costs in the Dominican Republic, you'll just take the current exchange rate. So like I told you last time I checked, it was like 60 Dominican pesos equals $1 US. So if something is like 500 pesos, you'll divide that by 60, and then that'll give you roughly about how much. I think that's like around $8 and some change, $8.3. All right, so yeah, you just do the pesos divided by 60, okay? Or let's say in the future, because there will be times where it might be 57, Dominican pesos equal $1. Then you'll just take the peso amount, divide that by 57. So that is a quick way for you to know how much money you're gonna be exchanging in the Dominican Republic. It's just divided by the peso amount. And another thing about the ATMs, I recommend if you're gonna do it, make sure that if you're gonna go to an ATM in a city, go to a mall or a bank, okay? Don't go to the little ATMs at the gas stations or like outside the grocery stores if you're gonna be taking out large sums of money, because a lot of times in the Dominican Republic, they run out of bills simply because it's not common for people to take out large sums of money. So once again, if you're gonna be taking out large sums of cash, I highly recommend you going to a bank, okay? Because they're gonna have enough bills in there. Or you can go to like a mall, because usually the malls have enough bills. So to avoid all that, either go to the ATM at the airport, a bank, or a mall. Now the third option you can do, if you just have to exchange your money in physical cash, you don't want to use a credit card, or maybe you don't have a bank account, you can go to either a Western Union or a Caribe Express, and they will do good exchange rates over there as well, okay? Way better than the airport. Okay, so if you are gonna exchange physical money, I recommend you go to Western Union, Caribe Express, okay? So those are 3 options that you have to do. Remember, if you're gonna do it at the airport, don't do more than $100. You can always go to the ATM, that's my favorite. And then the best place to do physical cash is Western Union or Caribe Express. All right, now we're gonna be talking about number 4, transportation. All right, my favorite. So how are you gonna get around the Dominican Republic? Okay, the easiest thing that I tell people is to use Uber. Now, there are some people who don't really like Uber. Me personally, I feel like it's just very easy to use. It's inexpensive, and pretty much it's really easy. You don't got to deal with them trying to change up the price on you. And what you're gonna find out in the Dominican Republic is people do like to scam, especially if you're a foreigner. So if you do try to take a taxi, a lot of times they will try to change their price. So what you can do to avoid that is always set the price before you take the trip. Okay, so whether that's in a taxi, whether it's a moto, if y'all agree that this person is going to take you somewhere, always set the price before you do the trip, so that way they don't change it, okay? And that does happen, especially if you're a foreigner. Me personally, that's why I like using Uber in Dominican Republic, because they can't change the price. Another thing with the Ubers, this hasn't happened to me in a long time, but I know back in the day, they used to do this little scam where they'll talk about like the app isn't working. That is a scam. So if they say like the app is not working and they need you to pay them in cash, that is a scam. Soon as the trip gets completed and you get connected to Wi-Fi, it's gonna charge automatically to your Uber account. So please don't fall for that scam. It doesn't happen like that anymore, but it has happened to me in the past where they'll be like, oh, the app isn't working, blah, blah, blah. Can you pay me in cash? Don't do that, that's a scam. They do have rental car options. My biggest advice on rental cars is don't do it at the airport, just don't do anything at the airport. Don't exchange your money at the airport, and don't rent a car at the airport, because once again, they're gonna give you these crazy rates. So it's better off if you're gonna rent a car in Dominican Republic, which I personally don't recommend doing if you're not a strong driver, because that's something that you're gonna quickly realize is that the driving in Dominican Republic is crazy, okay? Like, what you're gonna realize real quick if you've never been here before is that the driving is not like in the United States, okay? Like, they drive insane in Dominican Republic, okay? So if you are not a confident driver or a strong driver, I recommend you just take an Uber or a taxi. It'll just make your life easier, because it is a headache. I get anxiety driving in Dominican Republic. Every single time I'm mostly in the capital. Once I get to like the Campo or like the countryside, it's a little bit more relaxed. But like in the capital, bro, like, nah, like just put me in an Uber, I'm good. Now, if you're trying to get in between different cities, so let's say you in Santo Domingo and you want to get to Santiago, or let's say you in Santiago and you want to go to Puerto Plata or Sosua, they do have bus companies in the Dominican Republic. My favorite bus company in Dominican Republic is Caribe Tours, and these are really, really, really nice buses, y'all. So these aren't just like any rinky-dinky buses, and man, you can literally get from one end of the island to the other for only like $10 US, bro. Like, it's not expensive at all. And these buses are really nice, man. Okay, they got AC, they have Wi-Fi, they have charging ports for you to charge your phone, they have bathrooms. Okay, so these are like really, really nice buses. I might actually do a whole separate video on Caribe Tours and how to use it. They have other bus companies as well, but Caribe Tours, that's my favorite one. All right, and then last but not least, for my newcomers coming to the island, do not drink the water, okay? And when I'm saying water, do not drink the water from the tap. Okay, if you're gonna be drinking water, you need to be drinking from like a bottle, okay? A bottle of water. Even like the big botellas that you can get like at the grocery store, those are acceptable as well. But you don't want to drink the tap water directly, because you will get sick. And it has happened to everybody, even the best of us. Okay, not to be a little TMI, but if you don't want to be in the bathroom for a couple of days, then I highly suggest to you, do not drink the water, okay? You even have to be careful when you're like eating salads or things of that nature, because they do wash the vegetables in that water. So that's another way that you can get sick. People don't think about that, but it can get you like that. So if you are traveling to the DR and you're nervous about this, you can pack you some Imodium, okay, just to be on the safe side. But yes, like if you drink the water, you will get sick, because the bacteria's, your immune system is just not used to it. So it will make you sick. You can shower in the water perfectly fine, but you just should not drink it, okay? All right, guys, but that's all I have for this video today. The top 5 things I feel like you should know as a newcomer when traveling to the Dominican Republic. I do have a Dominican Republic vlog out, so I did Punta Cana a couple of weeks ago, so I do have that video up if you want to go check that out. But if you got any questions, you know where to hit me up. I got my contact information down below. But y'all have a blessed day. All right, stay safe.